Next is Maria Ferreira.
I've been working for Children's Service for 27 years, and I've seen what subsidy, how it helps the families. We had a young mom that came. Her child was 2.5 years old. She wasn't walking. She didn't feed herself and couldn't talk. But after a year in our service, with the hard work of the staff, she was walking and using a spoon to eat and had few words and interacted with the children. And this allowed the mom to go back to school, because we have a lot of moms in our centers that have quit school to take care of to be home with their kids. So subsidy helps these young moms get back to school. We have young moms that are working, and subsidy also provides them to get back to work. We also have grandparents that take custody of their children. We had a grandmother that had childcare in our center because she had to go through chemo. She got very sick, and so the daycare helped us take care of her child while she got some medical. So the need for subsidy and childcare spots is very important for these moms. So we should not be closing the childcare center like Capri. We should be opening more centers and providing more subsidy for these moms. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Davis has a question.
One of the proposals in the budget is to close Capri Childcare, which is a city-run childcare facility. Are you aware of how many other centers have closed that the city runs over the last few years?
Well, we had, I think, Hollis that closed down but reopened down the street. So that's the only one that I know that they actually closed.
St. Mark's?
I know Hollis. And St. Mark's was one of them, that's right,
Closed.
yeah, they closed.
Plains Road last year, they closed the preschool program. Or Parkside, sorry.
Yeah.
They closed the preschool program. I think there was another one prior to that. Okay, so it would be really helpful, actually, if somebody could go back and look at all of the childcare centers that have been, or programs and spaces that have been closed by the city over the last several years. Because what the provincial government is encouraging is, as all-day kindergarten expands, that those programs should be replaced with infants and toddler programs, and I don't think the city's done that. So if you could help with that, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Layton.
Thank you very much. I'm going to try to make this really brief. Every time I put out a tweet that I think raising the cost of childcare, even on full fee parents, is wrong, there seems to be one person out there that comes back and says, why should I be paying for your childcare? But I think you told a really important story about the importance of ECE for us as a society. I don't know if you're able to, but because I'm going to research this now because I'm just tired of hearing it. What other benefits do you see of having ECE programs accessible to everyone, irrespective of cost?
Well, for me, I had children, and when I put my child in a licensed childcare, it's a peace of mind for me that it was safety for the child, right? Knowing that my child was in good hands, and it was a safety, and I can go to work, peace of mind.
Now we've got a situation here where I've got an infant in care, and it costs like roughly $2,000 a month, which is a child care within the city, not at City Hall, but by my home. If I have a second child, it's going to become very, very close to us, my family, deciding that it's actually far less expensive for either A, to hire a nanny and keep the children in our home, or B, have my partner not work, or me not work, for that matter. Have one of us not work and stay home because of the cost. If we start removing full fee paying parents from these centers, particularly infants, what does that do to the viability of the centers? Do you know?
The financial part of the daycare, I don't know. All I know
That's
is I
totally
provide
fine. Fair enough.
I do the programming. That's what I'm
Yeah.
good at, with the children and the families, and working with the moms or the fathers. You know, if the child has a need that needs to be met, that I'm there to guide the parents and the child and make those needs be met.
Yep.
That's
Fair-
my job.
That's fair enough. Thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome.
Councillor Burnside has a question.
Sorry,
Oh, one more.
as a result of Councillor Layton's question, now I have a question, which is the story you told, the woman and her child in question, were they subsidized?
Yes.
Because I
And
was
this-
a little confused. Councillor Layton was
No, 'cause
saying that everyone, like, you conflating the two, and I was just a little confused, but that person was subsidized, right?
yeah, the three
Okay,
stories I
thank you.
told you, they're all subsidized. And because we could provide subsidy, they can go on and back to school or go get medical help or go to work.
Right, yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.